purpose that dogs were put on this earth was to teach human beings unconditional love. My name is Darlene Lee, and I am part of a local rescue group for animals here in Chongqing. For it here among the expat groups about 1.5 years ago, but we also work in conjunction with many local animal groups, which could be local people and or expats. So even though we developed this rescue group for Chongqing, we do all work together to rescue dogs, primarily dogs and cats. On some occasions there have been some pigs rescued and what have you. We needed to be a voice for the voiceless, which are helpless animals. For example, this beautiful dog, a lot of people, they see a puppy and it's like a baby. They think they're so adorable and they're so little and they're so cute. You know, they just want to get them and protect them. But then what they don't realize is that they grow up to be this big dog. And then all of a sudden they realize, A, they might not have space in their apartments for such a big dog, or B, a lot of times people get these dogs and they realize they don't have the time to care for them. And that's so important because dogs, even more than cats, they're like children. You know, you can't just get a dog and put them in a cage and forget about them. They really, really require everything that a child would require. They require love. They require attention. They require exercise. They require stimulation. Or if they move, here's another issue. They move and people feel that they can't take them to their new home. Many cases they can, they just don't know how. Like especially if someone wants to go abroad, they feel like it's impossible to take their animal with them overseas. But we teach people that, no, it's actually quite easy. Another big problem, which again needs a lot of education, why people desert their animals, especially in this culture, when women become pregnant, they feel that it's bad for a pregnant woman to have a dog or an animal, which is completely false. They feel like it will do some sort of damage to either the mother or the baby. And this is a big issue that we're trying to change people's understanding and their perception that that's not true at all. Even in my own life, I was pregnant and I always had a dog. You know, from the time my babies came into this world, we've always had dogs, and they just fall in love with my children, and my children fall in love with our dogs. Well, the first thing, just reach any one of us. We have several WeChat groups that they can get on, even if they're not sure who to contact. There's so many WeChat groups out there that say, hey, I see this dog, he looks injured, he's by the side of the road at this location. We need to know the location, and we need their contact number. And then we communicate. Then we try to gather our resources and our people to physically go there to help rescue the dog. Or if they want to actually be part of the rescue, you know, then we would go there to meet up with them to try and rescue the animal. If you find an animal and you're able to capture them, we ask that the first thing, you take them to the hospital. That's the first thing, you know, and have them examined. Don't worry about anything else, because people say, well, I don't have money to take them to the hospital. We say, don't worry, just take them to a safe place so that no one steals them, you know, with the wrong intention, or someone may kill the dog, you know, because they think they're, you know, a nuisance to the neighborhood. So we want to prevent that animal from being harmed or captured by the wrong people. So we say, whatever you do, please get them to a hospital. We will then fundraise. We will gather the money to help pay for this animal. And then we help every step of the way to get them placed to a safe home. One in particular, we were vacationing in Indonesia with our family, and my driver was supposed to pick up one of our dogs from another city, from the cargo airport. And the intention was the very next day we were going to send this dog abroad. Okay, we already had the flight and everything. So something happened when my driver got to the cargo airport. Somehow the dog escaped from the cage when they opened it. And so the dog ran. No one had any idea where this dog ran. So my poor driver is texting me while we're in Indonesia and he's here in China saying, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do, we've lost the dog. So immediately I got on all my local WeChat groups, animal rescue groups, and I put out the picture of the dog, the location where the dog escaped, my driver's contact number, and I said, please, can everyone please go out and help me look for this dog? The dog is due to fly abroad tomorrow. You know, they have a family waiting for him. Please help. And all day long, I was watching these text messages going between all of the different local animal rescue groups. And I'm saying everybody, local people, expats, everybody was out looking for this dog, literally on foot for hours looking for this dog. And then, amazingly, by the end of the night, the dog was captured. But I was so touched because I thought, even though I physically couldn't be there to help in that rescue, there were so many people who banded together as a community who loved animals that made it happen to where we found this dog. And I mean, it really touched my heart. And I thought, you know, I'm really proud to have these people in my community who really love and care about animals to this extent. I see a big difference between the older generation here as opposed to the younger generation. Perhaps during our older grandparents' age, back in those days, you know, maybe dogs were, you know, outside, maybe they were mean, maybe they bit people, maybe, who knows, they ate them, I don't know what the reasons were. But times have changed now, and so people, the younger generation, I'm seeing they have a whole different perspective on animals. They see an animal as man's best friend, which is truly what they are. They are man's best friend. They see them as a companion, a loyal companion, you know, somebody to fill that void, you know, and it can be a younger person, it can be an elderly person. They are so therapeutic in your life. It's amazing if people would just understand what a dog or a cat or an animal can do in your life. They really bring so much added joy to a person's life, and they ask so little in return. So why shouldn't we help them? You know, they're just unconditional love.